Alright, what's up? It's Samuel, and in this video, I'd like to speak to you about one technique, one tool, if you will, which will help you gain massive clarity in life, in your vision for your future, okay? If you're young, this one is super important because as a young person, if you're in your 20s, you need to have a strong vision, alright? You need to have a strong vision for your future. What do you want out of life? You need to know that, okay? You need to spend a lot of time with that. You don't need to know every specific detail of it. That will come down the road, right? Because I'm young too, and I definitely don't know everything I want out of life, right? There's a lot of stuff that I'm still unclear about, but whatever, you know? But you do want to have a vision, and you want to have something that you're constantly building, right? I have a vision, and I'm constantly building it. I'm expanding it. I'm seeing new things that I could wish for in life, new things that I want to accomplish and succeed with and develop in myself. Okay? Now, an important aspect of having a vision or setting a vision for yourself is the specifics of it, right? It's being clear about it. You want to have a clear vision. And the tool, which I'm going to share with you now, is going to help you with that immensely. So what is it? It's called zooming in, okay? Zooming in simply means looking into the details of something. That's a simple kind of a simple description of what zooming in is. So imagine zooming into your life, okay? You can look at your life as a whole, right? That's a human life right there that you are experiencing right now as you're listening to my voice. But then what you could do is you can zoom into your life a bit, and you can see the various elements that make up your life. Okay? What are those elements for you? Spend some time with that question. Just really think about what are the actual elements that make up your life. Now, most people come up with at least the domain or the element of relationships, career, health, like personal physical health, and also spirituality. Some people bring that in too, some people less than others, but spirituality, we can all agree, is an important aspect of a human being's life. So there's some examples of the elements that make up a human being's life. So you can already see that when we zoom into a human being, when we look at a human being, we can see from a pretty big picture that a human being is simply a human being. But then we can zoom in and we can see that what that human being's life consists of, right? And it consists of these different elements. What we can then do is we can zoom in some more, and we can zoom into any, specific individual element. So I could take the element of health and zoom into that and see what are the components that make up health, the domain of health. And I can find different things: nutrition, physical activity, supplementation, how my relationships affect my health, how does my career affect my health. So there's various different components that make up the overall domain of my health and the overall kind of results I get from my health. So zooming in there will give you some clarity. We'd also take another domain. We can zoom into another domain like relationships. Let's take human relationships as another domain, because that's a big part of every person's life, or for the most part, unless you're a hermit. But if you're a basic person, you will have human relationships. Now, it's useful to zoom into that domain also and find out the various components that make up human relationships. Okay? What could those be? Well, first of all, you could make a distinction between romantic relationships and non-romantic or friendship-based relationships. And you can make that kind of distinction there. That's already kind of zooming in. But you could also zoom into either one of those. So let's say we're focusing on the romantic relationship side. We can zoom into that and see what are the elements that make up a romantic relationship. Well, you can look at it and think, okay, well, at least communication, that's a big part. How you communicate with your partner, that's gonna be a big element in the whole thing. Also, sexuality, that's gonna also play a role in the whole relationship thing. You could also look at your relationship with your parents and see how that affects your romantic relationships. There you go. That's another thing to zoom into. And again, you're gonna be able to make a lot more, gain a much richer understanding of that specific domain that you are setting goals in. So if you have some goals in relationships, your goals are going to become much more specific and clear to you when you do this zooming in process, because now you're going to be able to make kind of sub goals or sub visions for yourself into these domains. So for example, with let's say communication, right? You could actually set a goal or set the intention to become a better communicator, to learn how to communicate your emotions on a more effectively, and this stuff. You could also work on being a better a man if you're a guy, being a better man or being a better woman. Either way, you can work on these things, and they are going to be very beneficial for the larger goal, which is relationships. And then you can see how that connects to the even larger goal of just living a good life. So there you go. There's some examples of how you can zoom in to different areas of your life and create more specific goals and become more clear with what you really want out of life. It's a very useful thing to do, to zoom in. And I recommend you do it to every area of your life. And one thing which popped into my mind as I was talking there was that goals. We're talking a lot about goals on the channel, and I don't really like that word so much because it implies that you haven't achieved it yet, and it kind of implies that you're here and that vision you have for yourself is somewhere far away, and you're gonna have to work a lot to get that thing, right? And although yes, that is in a sense true, it's not so encouraging for the mind. So I actually prefer to use the word vision instead of the word goal. So actually what you're doing here is you're visioning. You're just visioning up your future. So when we're talking about zooming into different areas of your life, you're simply expanding your vision for that area that you're zooming into. All right, so that's the whole video. To recap, zoom into different areas of your life. Your life as a whole, we can zoom into it and see the different elements that make up a human life, right? You can see relationships, career, health, and spirituality. And you can zoom in to any specific area of your life, yet more, and find new things to explore, right? So we can zoom into the domain of business, and we can find the different areas and different components that make up business: marketing, sales, customer service, website building, design, whatever it is. And you can explore all those things individually, and through this you're going to be able to create visions for yourself that are much more clear and inspiring for yourself. All right, so that's the whole video. I'm going to get out of here now. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.